Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here again for another episode of Phicksur Does Technic. And yes, that is the way I pronounce my name, Phicksur. I know it's spelled with a P, but P with an H next to it is pronounced like an F in the English language. Now, as you can see, we're just moving along with trying to build up a geothermal generator. At least I think that's what I was doing. And I say all these were recorded almost a month ago, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was going. Oh wait, that's right, I needed a pump first. Pump, get the lava, put the lava into the tanks, and then use the tanks to power the geothermal generator. Ta-da! So, get all that together. Get all the necessary bits and bobs there. Get an iron furnace. I think I still need 3 more iron ingots and a battery. And I don't have anything to make a battery with down here. Okay, looks like I'm going to be going back then. At this point, I will ask you to go. Since this should be published on Friday, and the weekend is going to be me moving the last bits of heavy furniture, I am really uncertain as to whether or not I am going to be able to put up a video on Monday, but I'm going to try for you guys. I'm going to try. I know a lot of folks are very interested in this Technic series, and I'm actually really interested in it too. I've played around a little bit in creative on other worlds, so I don't mess with this one at all, just to see how to do things. And some of the stuff is pretty fun. One of the things that I was introduced to was the concept of a dark room, which uses red power items. What it does is it takes things called deployers. You put bone meal into them, which causes grass and flowers and such to grow. But it causes it to grow in a room where there is no light, and therefore it immediately pops. And when grass pops, it has a chance of dropping seeds or flax seeds, and whenever roses or dandelions pop, they actually produce flowers. And then there are other devices above them which collect loose objects around them, similar in nature to an obsidian pipe. So what you have is a system where the items from that pop are brought into the things that suck them up, which I forgot what it's called, it's like a transposer or something, pipes it along some pneumatic pipe, drops it into an energy condenser, which then that energy condenser actually produces more bone meal. I'm sorry, I'm so tired, I'm starting to lose the ability to use my words. And yet I tell my 5-year-old, use your words! Oh, so tired. Anyway, so the items go into the energy condenser, which turns it into bone meal, and out of the bottom of the energy condenser is a filter which takes the bone meal out of the energy condenser, feeds it back into the deployer, so you have a cycle. And since you will produce far more EMC per turn than you will ever need to create with the bone meal, it is in essence an EMC generator. Done completely without Buildcraft at all. In fact, it only barely uses the equivalent exchange mod just for the energy condenser. So I was reading about that. That looks pretty cool. Then, of course, I started playing around to see what the energy flowers that you can set up, where you've got the light collectors, and then you've got the antimatter relays, and then you have the energy condenser surrounded by those antimatter relays. And that produces actually a whole lot more energy, much faster when you're using Mark III. So once again, I did all this in creative just to see what they were like. Now, I will end up building one of those, not a big one, but a smaller one, just to show how they work and how it's done. But for the most part, that's just going to be for the really high EMC items, because I was looking, and some of the stuff that I would like to make to be a comprehensive Technic Let's Play, those things cost millions and millions of EMC. And that's, I mean, that would be mining a whole ton of obsidian and diamonds and all sorts of stuff. I mean, I think the Let's Play would go far longer than I even want it to go. Oh! Go away, little stupid slimes. I think the Let's Play would go far longer than even I would be comfortable playing it if I tried to do it without equivalent exchange to get those very high value items. So yeah, I will end up having to make them. I just won't make them big. I'll just make little ones so that way you can see how it's done, see how well they work, and things of that nature. Now, having played, I think, about 12 or 14 hours at this point, I can honestly say I have not made one yet. I made little bitty ones with Mark 1, but I haven't made any big EMC generators. I think I have a few light collectors, and I haven't made any antimatter relays. But just little ones just to make a bit of stuff. Then I'll show you guys how to make a flower that generates EMC, and it generates it pretty quickly. Once again, in the creative, I put in a diamond block just to see how fast it would generate them, and it was able to generate a diamond block in about 2 or 3 minutes, I think. And that's, a pretty good amount. Let's see here. Move, stupid sheep. I think. Oops. How about thee? Die, spiders, die. Alright. So. I know I forgot at this point what I came out here for. Let's see. Other than just trying to be careful and not have the stuff pop up on top of my house, I think I'm going to go ahead and drop some torches up there. Alright. At this point, I'm going to discuss my gamer cred. What's my background in playing video games? My first video game console was an Atari 2600, which, for most of my viewers, you have no idea what I'm talking about. It was pre-Nintendo. But the Atari 2600 was one of the first. I don't think it was actually the first, but I think it was one of the first gaming consoles. It was one of the only gaming consoles ever put out by Atari. Of course, Atari also put out computers, which I had one of those too. I had an old Atari 800 computer. Ooh, hello. It just grew right up underneath me. Yeah, I remember that was my first computer. That's the one that I originally programmed my own games on because, in those days, video games... oh, hello. Going somewhere to buy a video game was unheard of. There weren't video game stores. There weren't sections of stores dedicated to selling video games. This was just, if you wanted a video game... I don't actually know how you got video games back then, because I was young back then, and I didn't actually have money to buy video games. But I know that my stepfather at the time had video games, and I played some of those, and I liked them, so I learned how to program my own. They were really basic, but, they were entertaining for me. Die, Mr. Skeleton. Anyway, after the Atari 800, I actually got... I'm trying to recall. I never had the original Nintendo NES. That was one I never actually had. I had friends who had it, and I played theirs, but I never ever actually had one of my own. That was, I think, whenever I was in middle school and high school, and I didn't have money, parents didn't have money, nobody had money, so it was just a matter of, you know what, it wasn't a necessity, so we didn't have it. Die, Mr. Zombie. So my actual next gaming console that I purchased for myself was the Nintendo 64. And of course I got the prerequisite Mario game, which you must get if you have a Nintendo, because it's tradition apparently. But yes, I had that. I moved from the Nintendo 64. I then had a GameCube, and during the Taco Bell Win It Before You Can Buy It sweepstakes for the Xbox, I won 2 Xboxes. And I wish I could say that it was luck, but it wasn't. I figured out how to play the game and won. So, but of course, because of the rules, I couldn't win 2 Xboxes, I could only win 1. So I won 1 Xbox and kept it. I think this is where I suffer for not playing with sound. somewhere along in here. But yeah, so in fact, I still have that Xbox. It's right here, sitting under my left hand. I still have a bunch of Xbox games for it. I never went to the Xbox 360. I never saw. Whoops. Hello, Mr. Creeper. I'm gonna jump over here and make you come after me. Haha! You fell for my well-devised trap. Die. Die some more. Die some more. Dead, sir. There we go. So yeah, and see, after that, I started getting into actual PC gaming. I had the original Warcraft. With all what you need. That's actually, I spent a lot of hours on Warcraft, the original Warcraft, mind you. Let's see, and then whenever Warcraft 2 came out, I picked that up. Then I did eventually get Warcraft 3, but I have never played World of Warcraft, ever. You know, besides my friends asking me to play, I still never actually played World of Warcraft. I didn't have any interest in it. You know, MMOs are okay, but they're just not my thing. Because once you figure them out, I mean, you're pretty much locked in whenever you say, what kind of class do you want to be? Oh, well, I want to be a rogue. Well, that pretty much sticks you into a role. You know, you can't really change what you are outside of, you know, maybe a little bit of tweak here and there, but you're stuck being what you are. In order to actually play anything else, you have to play something else. A different race, a different character, and I never liked that. Now, I will give Blizzard this much. With Diablo 3, they did improve on the whole character building concept. Because now, you can respec your character however you want, and you can be tanking, DPSing however you want without a whole building a brand new character. And changing characters is just a matter of variety. And I do like that. Still not so keen on the whole, you know, any character can learn any skill, because that can't happen, but that, for me, would be the greatest MMO. Is if any character could learn any skill, but in order to learn some, you have to not learn others, and you can respec at any time, so you can literally play one character and be anything, just not all at once. That, for me, would be wonderful. Ah. But I digress. Let's see, with regards to Oblivion, I played Morrowind for many hours. That's actually one of my first returns back into the PC gaming, is I was able to play Morrowind, eventually learned how to mod it, and really enjoyed that. I've decided that modding is definitely one of my favorite things to do. I like to play modded games. Alright, make a bed. Finally have somewhere to sleep. Plop. And of course I get to bed and it's almost daytime. Oh, I forgot there's a Somnia mod. Well, shoot, that doesn't do me any good then, does it? Alright, let's make some wires. Make a battery. Oh, sorry, make the insulated wires. Take those. Take 10. I need redstone. Where's my redstone? I don't have redstone. Well, it looks like I'm going mining. But we're going to do that later. In the meantime, go check out TinyTube, because I may not be available on Monday because of all the moving I'm doing over the weekend. So tinytube.phicksurlaw.com, and I will see you guys later. I promise. Moving is a lot of work.